Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to be covering the Yamato for World of Warships for EU, NA, and Southeast Asia. So we're back on the normal account, guys. Imagine that for Wargaming. But I wanted to cover a video on Yamato because I actually haven't covered Yamato, I think, in a long time. Let me actually go check really fast when my last Yamato video was. Huh! I think it's my second video on my channel, actually. December 23rd, 2020. I haven't covered Yamato since that day. So I want to cover it again, maybe for tech trials here. We'll put it in tech trials. But here it is, the Tier 10 Battleship Yamato. Let's start off with the armor layout for the ship. First, how do you get it? It's in the tech tree for Japan, guys. It's the Tier 10, as you can see. That also leads to Satsuma, but today we're covering Yamato. If you want to see any of the other ships, let me know in the comments below. Tier 10s included. But let's start off with the armor layout for the ship. Now, this is one of the main weaknesses of the Yamato. Even though it has 32 everywhere on the side and a 50 and 57 millimeter deck, which seems pretty nice. If we actually remove the actual external armors, we take a look at the Citadel. It sits 500 miles above the water, as you can see. And it's pretty flat. And here on the front here, under your cheek, we call this the cheek. If the Yamato's angled like this, you can smash through it anyway. So you have to be really careful how you play this ship, because this ship can get smashed quite easily. Same thing with the back, because some people don't know, the front has a cheek, but also the back. If we actually take off the armor layout, we see this garage door looking thing. I call it the garage door, but it's actually not. I don't know what. It's probably for the, I don't know, it's support structure for the secondaries, I guess, or AA mounts. But through this door, if you're angled like this, you can get also Citadel, because look how it's angled like that. You have cheeks, so you have to be really careful when you play Yamato. And of course, when you play Yamato against Yamato, you also have to be careful about getting Citadeled through your nose here. So there's a lot of ways you can get Citadeled with Yamato, so you have to be really careful. It's one of the squishier, I would say, battleships at tier 10 because of that. But let's go and take a look at our commander build. Now, I have preventative maintenance. Gun feeder is questionable on this build. I don't really recommend you take that. Grease the gears, brisk, adrenaline rush, concealment expert, fire prevention expert, and emergency repair expert. Probably what you could do is remove gun feeder, and I don't know about brisk. I think brisk is pretty important, but you can remove brisk as well. Take those two off and take IRR. That's probably for the better overall. I would say IRR gives you that extra heal when you get 2 million potential damage, which is actually pretty strong. For equipment, I'm running main battery director system, concealment system mod 1, prop mod 1, aiming system mod 1, damage control system mod 1, and main armaments mod 1. For the exterior camouflages for the Yamato, this is the exciting part of the video, guys, because there's a lot of exterior camouflages for Yamato. So let's turn them all on here. So let's start off with the basic standard permanent camo for Yamato. I think this one looks really good, actually, as well. That's what it looks like. This is one of the older perma camos in the game. There's also the alternate version, which makes it look like this. I think it also looks pretty good. We have my favorite, the Los Angeles Lakers camo for the Yamato here. Pretty nice, pretty nice. It does look really nice. This is the one I'll be using for today's video. We also have the M119 from, I think, the High School Fleet collaboration. Makes the Yamato look yellow with the lines. I actually never really used this camo too much, even though I have it. There's a Scorpioid camo, which goes a bit wild and ham. The Scorpion literally moves around. And you have some moving parts on it. Not really my style, but I know a lot of people use it because I see it in randoms a lot. We have the Makoto Kobayashi camo, the bicycle camo, as you can see, with the brake pedals, whatever. It has some text on it. There you go. We also have the second high school fleet camo, the K117. I used to use this a lot when it was the only permanent camo I had on Yamato. This was the one I used to use because this was the one I had. It's all right. I mean, it's like the yellow but blue. And we have the Queen's Diamond camouflage. Oh my! I've never actually used this one, to be honest. This one looks a bit crazy. I guess the fighters look like almost UFO-esque planes. We have this big thing on top. Anyway, we also have Arctic lights, which I didn't put on. We also have a steel camo, which I didn't put on. But today we're going to be using the Los Angeles Lakers camo. So there you go. We're going to look at ship characteristics right now. If you want to skip straight to gameplay, you totally can. We have we have 102,000. I was going to say 97,200 because that's, I believe, what it is without that. A flag. Yeah, it is. But it's actually 102,100 with a 55% torpedo protection damage reduction. We've got 460mm guns, 9 of them, guys. So these overmatch 32mm of armor, which means you're going to go straight through that armor, which means you're probably more likely to use AP than anything else in this ship. Of course, HE isn't recommended. That's why gun feeder isn't really that good on this ship in general. We got that 35% fire chance if you're ever going to switch to HE. I don't think you should. The fire chance is pretty bad. I think the shell travel time is also worse. Well, it actually says it's better. But I think to longer range, it actually takes way more time. Because I think, I don't know actually why. Either the shell's not as heavy. I'm sure you guys would know the actual characteristics in the comments. But we got 26.6 kilometer gun range. Maneuverability, we go 28.4 knots without brisk. 900 meter turning circle radius, 22-second rudder shift time, guys. Pretty good. Concealment, 14.1 kilometers. Pretty standard for the old battleships that are in game. And to keep in mind, we have a standard heal, nothing too exciting. We do have a 10 or 11-second DCP, so very short DCP, unfortunately, on the Yamato. And we got spotting aircraft on board. You can switch to fighter. I recommend having spotters so you can see better over islands. You do have a lot of range stock, so if you're really, maybe you're divisioning with a carrier for some reason in Yamato, then you should take fighter, maybe. But I would never take fighter myself. But yeah, let's go into the game in the Yamato. Here we are in the game on Land of Fire, guys. This is the matchmaking, by the way, we got. I spawned up here on the 9 line. This is going to be live commentary, guys, so unlike the previous five videos, they weren't live commentary. This one will be live commentary, I guess, because I'm playing on the main server for Wargaming here. I want to try do it as I usually do and not change things up. But here we've got a game on Land of Fire with 2 super battleships. Here we go. We have the Spurgeon. Look at that. We got the unique upgrade, the Spurgeon. Look at that. Boom! 14k. That's only 1 citadel worth of damage, but we'll take it. Ugh. So, some of you are going to be wondering, why am I so far away? Why am I playing so far away right now? Well, right now it's the early game. We don't really know what's going to be spotted on this flank yet or not. So we don't want to kind of just run it down very fast. As I talked about in the port, I'm not sure if you paid attention to the armor scheme of the ship. Wait, hold on. I want to try shoot him. I'm not sure if you guys paid attention to the armor scheme of the ship, but I was talking about how easy it is to get citadel in the Yamato. So we don't want to push in aggressively into a position where we either might get crossfired, for example, or push down the 10 line where we're just going to get torped. Especially since we also have very slow top speed. We can't rotate that quickly. And we also have really horrible turning circle radius and rudder shift time. So we want to be very careful with how you play. Yamato, one of the most important things I would say with Yamato is actually the positioning. More so than the actual mechanical skill you're gonna have is the actual positioning of your ship, because it's such a horrible hull. The aim is whatever. You can kind of shoot wherever most of the time. You'll overmatch, right? You don't need to always go for citadels. Of course, it's always better if you can aim for citadels. But let's say it's an angled main, for example. Well, it's gonna be pretty hard to citadel such a thing. So we just shoot it and hope we land on either superstructure or nose and stern. But most importantly with Yamato, it's your positioning. Now, some people are gonna hate when I say this, but I like playing kited in Yamato, to be honest, because 21k. But it's mainly because if you're playing aggressive bow in, and you want to turn around in the Yamato, so you don't, well, get dev struck, right? You're gonna have a pretty hard time, to be honest. The citadel sits very high. It's not a good time for you if you want to actually sit bow in. Now, we are sitting a bit far away in this case. A bit too far, maybe. Because, well, first of all, the Shima was, like, here at the time when I kited out. And there could have been torps coming through the gap like this from Z44 or whatever destroyer it may be. So I wanted to be angled out. But now, of course, it seems like our team is dominating the flank. So we can kind of just turn around at this point. Probably play a bit more aggressive. But this is one of the main reasons I don't play secondary spec on Shikishima. Even though, you know, it has those Harugumo secondaries or whatever, I don't like playing secondary spec on such a ship because, well, the hull is the problem. It's an awful hull. Now, Shikishima, to be fair to it, does have a better... we got a Citadel at 19 kilometers. Shikishima does have better rudder shift time, which makes it more maneuverable in closer range engagements. But that doesn't mean its hull's gonna withstand getting smashed by crossfires. And even though Yamato does have that improved torpedo protection damage reduction factor of the 55%, it's still a problem if you push into crossfires, right? You have to be really careful when it comes to playing these Japanese battleships, at least Yamato and Shikishima, because of their hull layout. Maybe it's because it's a real ship, guys. Maybe because it's a real ship that was built. I don't know why it has super exposed citadel, probably. But I would say it's in a way, it's fair, because you do get, in, I don't know, some of the better guns in the game. Now, the guns aren't perfect. The dispersion can be wild sometimes. But, you know, if you're good at aiming, you're going to hit your shots, and you are going to get citadels. Look at us, 22 shell hits, 4 citadels, 91,000 damage. Now, unfortunately, this guy did go full broadside. I want to shoot. I would go for Brisbane here, but I'm not confident. I'm not that confident with my aim to hit a Brisbane here when he's turning. Plus, main is literally sitting full broadside, so I'm hoping for a good shot. Another Citadel, 27,000 damage. Now, you could say this is a match filled with paid actors where we're getting free broadsides, and I would agree with you, to be honest. But regardless, even if ships are angled against Yamato, as long as they have the 32mm armored nose, you can kind of just aim at their nose. So we're talking like ships like Montana and stuff. Even though they're angled, you can still aim for their nose and do damage. Whilst, for example, maybe something like GK, you're going to have a really hard time doing damage when it's angled because, well, it has a very small section, which is 32. Another Citadel hit, we're up to 6. A lot of people, I mean... around, you know, people I know say the Yamato's a pile of garbage because it's old, it has a shit hull that gets smashed, and, you know, maybe the guns aren't super accurate or whatever. I think, personally, I actually enjoy playing it. Now, does that mean I have good games in it every game? No. I have some horrible games in the Yamato as well. Sometimes I'll literally load into a game and I'm not hitting anything, and I'm having a really bad time. And either that or I'm just getting rolled over by Turbo HE or whatever. I don't know. So it's not going to be a positive experience every time you play it, don't get me wrong. But what ship is, right? I mean, there are some ships which are, like, I guess, overpowered, and you're going to have a really good time every single game in it. Wisconsin. But, you know, Yamato's more like, well, some games you're going to get steamrolled, and you need to be okay with that, and that's okay. You know, it's old. It's not perfect. But for me, I still enjoy playing it. It's one of those ships where I load in and just get relaxed playing it. You know? Now, it's not a 200k game I'm featuring, guys. But keep in mind, this is live commentary, so whatever game I get, I'm gonna feature. And it kind of just shows you what I'm doing. Now, in this game, did we play too passive? Yes. And some of you are gonna be like, well, you didn't support your team at all because you were very passive. And you're right. But at the same time, it's like, well, we didn't really have to play aggressive because we are kind of winning the game at this point. The whole game. So in a game like this, I don't really have to play aggressive. In games where you have to play aggressive, of course you should, you know. Try to, well, use your team as support. You can't just go in front line with Yamato. Try to not do that. But that doesn't mean you should sit far away like I did. I kind of got carried away with the commentary, to be honest. Since it's live commentary, I'm more focusing almost on talking than the actual gameplay itself, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. But regardless... you can see what kind of power it can do, right? Even at further away. So, you can't brawl with it, sure. But I think the best ranges to play Yamato would be 15, 16 kilometer ranges. Of course, we have a broadside Adatara here. I'm actually going to go for that one instead of the broadside main. Let's see. I don't know if I aimed it well. Let's see. When you fight Conquerors in this thing, you absolutely demolish them. They also demolish you, though, with HE. But you absolutely smash them because you overmatch them everywhere. Now, there's no Conqueror, I'm just saying it. But... could we have played more aggressive, like I said, guys? Yes, we could have. There's a destroyer here. But we didn't need to. And you have to be a game-by-game analysis. Now, I know some people are like, well, you have to play aggressive every game in a battleship. Well, if you're dominating the game, and the game is like, well, you're winning really good, you don't have to, like, run it down and kill yourself in 2 minutes, right? So like, in-game. But, like, you should like take it like minute by minute. First of all, I always start the game in Yamato, preferably pre-kited. I know, pre-kiting, annoying. But like, if the ship's hull armor is bad, like why would I start the game bow in and expose myself to dying, right? It doesn't make sense. Now, well, that's the game. We ended up doing 203,895 damage, 7 Citadel hits, 1 Defended Ribbon, and 62 shell hits. Unfortunately, no kills. Team score, we got top of our team at 2k base XP. Detailed report, 89k on the main there, 38k on the Adatara, 37k on the Johan, 34k on the Brisbane, 3k on the Zed, and 1.4k on the Gearing. We received no damage because we didn't really tank this game, but we did 203k damage. Credits and XP. Here you go. I think this is without any boosters. Yes. For my commander build, once again, preventative maintenance, gun feeder, grease the gears, brisk, adrenaline rush, concealment expert, fire prevention expert, and emergency repair expert. For equipment, we have main battery director system, which is a unique upgrade. You can take reload mod. It's actually also pretty good, but personally I prefer the unique upgrade. That's what I've been running for years now. Concealment system mod 1, prop mod 1, aiming system mod 1, damage control system mod 1, and main armaments mod 1. For my statistics in the Yamato, if it can load up, because on this client it does take a bit of time to load things up, unfortunately, with the UI elements. But it's okay, we can scroll down now and find it. Here it is. We have 840 games in the Yamato. I've played Yamato. I think it's my most played battleship. It is 840 games, 69% win rate, 134k average. The average isn't that high, but it's because I've had it for a really long time. And also, to keep in mind, damage to ships record 395,000. If you guys want to see a commentary on the 394,000 damage Yamato game, it's actually my first video with commentary on my YouTube channel. I will leave it linked in the description of this video. And if you want to see a big Yamato game, which I had years ago without arms race, it's a legit game, please let me know. I mean, you can just go click it. I'll leave it in the description of the video and you can go check it out. It is my first commentary though, so my microphone quality is going to be way lower. And, you know, I'm not that good at speaking. I guess, I don't know if I'm even that good right now at speaking, but I try my best, you know. Anyway, so as I was saying in the game, before we talk about the summary, yes, I do start the game pre-kited most of the time because of the armor scheme and the rudder shift time and etc. Those are the main weaknesses, and maneuverability. But that doesn't mean every game I'm going to sit at the back of the map. Now, last game I did, mainly due to the fact that, well, we didn't really have to play aggressive because we were winning the entire game. And I didn't want to play too aggressive into those Torp Destroyers regardless, that were in B. There was a Z46, Z44, and a Gearing, I think. I didn't want to run it down into B. I was kind of comfortable sitting where I was sitting and getting free damage shots anyway, so it didn't really matter. But that isn't gonna happen every game, guys, and I need to be fair, right? You need to play aggressive when you need to play aggressive. But that doesn't mean you have to play aggressive every game. So you kind of have to use your own intuition and see which games do I need to play aggressive and which games not. That comes with experience. Sometimes you're gonna run it down early and you'll be like, well, in this situation, I shouldn't have run it down early. And that's how you learn, right? That's how I learned. Through experience. I have 30,000 games on my account. I have 840 games in Yamato alone. So through experience, you're going to learn all of these things. And of course, throughout time, you'll get better. But you have to give it time, guys. You're not going to be instantly good. Now, some of you, of course, maybe who are watching are already good at the game, of course. But you don't need to hear this from me. You, of course, know what to do. But yeah. That's pretty much it for the Yamato. What do I think of it? Even though a lot of people call it a dinosaur, even though a lot of people call it the T-Rex of WoWs because it's old, I still think it's a very good ship. I like playing it in random specifically, of course. The main problems of the ship are very evident. You have really bad armor, really bad maneuverability, quite bad AA. So you've got minimal, almost defensive tools. But your offensive tools are pretty decent because you have that overmatch, 32. Yamato is more of like a very easy battleship to play. Not because of the armor scheme and maneuverability. Those are probably its main downsides, sure. But in terms of ease to play as well, you don't really have to focus too much on your aiming because you have the 460mm guns. You got that overmatch. Keep in mind, by the way, Yamato was actually built in real life. I didn't mention that before, but I'm sure all of you know. One more thing I didn't mention was there is the ARP Yamato Camouflage, which I didn't show you. earlier. There's actually two. There's this one, which looks like this. I think the ARP Yamato looks pretty cool. And you also have this camo. Wait. I thought this camo's supposed to have like a person on board. I don't see the person on board though. I think maybe it's only in game. Or is it this one? Oh no, it's this one. So this one's the normal arpeggio Yamato camo. And this one is the alternate, which gives you two little people on board there. I believe one of them is actually I-400 maybe. And the other one is Yamato. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But maybe. Anyway, the Yamato, that's pretty much it, guys. I still enjoy playing it in randoms, even though it's a bit old. That's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please request what ship you want to see next, guys, in the next video. I would greatly appreciate it because it helps me come up with ideas. And that was pretty much it. So let me know also what you think about the Yamato, what you think about the video, the quality, etc. if you have any feedback. And also, guys, I would greatly appreciate if you subscribe to the channel because it helps me out a lot and it's free. And more than 50% of you are unsubscribed. So even like a bit of you would help me out a lot. And even a like and a comment, it all helps me out in general, guys. Even though I may not reply to every comment, I do read every comment. It's what I do during the day. I just scroll through YouTube comments and just read. I may not reply to them. I may not click like or anything. That doesn't mean I didn't like the comment. I read them, you know. But I can't reply to all of them as well. So, but that's pretty much it, guys. So I appreciate you watching the channel. And that's pretty much it. Big fan.